Buenos dias is the second word. I learned after gracias. But this is my first Latin America visit. And maybe next year I'll speak two more sentences. Before I start my presentation, and I came all the way from India, and definitely I have a lot of news, good news, bad news, both, for our industry. So I want to share a story which, when I was coming here, it must be happening with you guys also. When you go to the immigration and they ask you, what are you going to do? Yes, you take a pause. You take a pause for 5 seconds and say, should I? I said, there is a conference, I'm a speaker. Are you just speaking on? Cannabis. What? Cannabis. Oh, okay. So can you step aside, please? So yeah, that's the reality of our industry. And this is the industry we are serving. We have a long way to go. Everybody heard Steve in the morning, and it started with the hippie culture, and our generation and future generation will take it forward. In India, there is no word called marijuana or cannabis. From the British time, it was named at Indian hemp. So it's all hemp. There's no differentiation between hemp, like a low THC crop or a high THC crop. So it was very hard for us to work with hemp, and which is also high THC over there, considered to be high THC crop. And our association was born 7 years back to educate, to work with the government, to create an atmosphere, an ecosystem where we can work around this plant where there was none. And ironically, India never was only one in the UN convention to oppose the UN that we will not ban cannabis. 1961 it happened, we fought till 1985 that this is our cultural plant and we cannot ban cannabis, sorry. But we have to surrender in 1985, and we made some minor changes. Medicinal always was there and still there, allowed to use in India. We have Ayurveda. We still use cannabis in Ayurveda. Also homeopathy. We use cannabis in homeopathy in India. So moving forward, but there's not a regulation. There was so many complications, and I see so many similarities between Colombia and India, how you guys are going, how we are moving forward. I used to travel to European countries, and when I used to see the prices of these machines, CGMP machines, I said, we will never even go nearby, because if we buy a 4 million euro worth machine, it will take us ages to recover that cost. So we started working in our country that how we can make our own machines, everything in India from ground zero. In last year, we were granting the first license after the ban, and we started the seed breeding program in 200 hectares. And we employed more than 300 farmers, and where these farmers were having no livelihood earlier, and we started giving them jobs opportunity. So if you see the typographic, and it's very similar to Colombia country, like hills and even the farmers. So we are doing seed breeding program of our own varieties over here. We have more than 200, yeah, you can ask me to move anywhere because I'm very bad. I'm not seeing at the back, I don't have eye, okay. So we have more than 200 varieties. And we partnered with our genetic bank of India to ask them that are they doing anything about this cannabis? And they said, no, it's lying there. So I said, can we take it? They said, yeah, you can take it. So we took that genetic bank and we started researching on our varieties. Why we did that? Why when we went out and started searching on varieties which are already growing out? Because what will grow in your homeland, which has been growing from ages, no other crop or a genetic will grow better than that. So we started researching in that, and we found very good varieties we already have. Now, coming to global hemp market, I have said technologies, innovations, fiber, and medicinal product. Technologies will play the pivot role. If technologies won't be there in the cannabis industry, nothing will move ahead at a speed where we want to take it there. So technologies have to be there, making medicines more bioavailable, checking their efficacies, more efficient extraction methods to lower down the cost, innovations, what all we can do with this plant will definitely give an edge to the cannabis industry. And then goes the traditional fiber products, nutritional product, medicinal products, and so on. Now, hemp application is rising and is seeing various uses in personal care, animal care, automotive industries, like Europe is all about fiber, China is all about fiber, India is primarily dominating also in fibers. And later it comes for us the medicine part also. So we were granted the first license, and I don't know why I placed this slide here, so my mistake, sorry. So yeah, this was the license, which is an historic one because it's written 01. So yeah. And yeah, so this is the first registered variety we've registered, IIHA C1. We named it on our association, Indian Industrial Hemp Association. C1 means the area code, and it's not clear, but the THC limit came out to be around 0.28. Once it came 0.4 also, but we did some mistake, and then we did it again, and then we found out it's near about 0.8, these varieties. So with a recent legal approval and restricted commercial cultivation, when we say restricted commercial cultivation in hemp, we are not allowed to use flowers right now, but we are working on getting the policy passed that we will be allowed for the flowers. We don't want it to be greedy and asking the government to give us everything at one go. So we took the license. Now, once the flowers will be there, we'll put it in front of the government door and we'll ask them what we should do about these tons of flowers we have got. So we are playing very smart with the government. And when we talk about this, this whole new thing which is coming up with the legal approvals, what is there in India for us? India has a market of 1 billion people. We grow our own rice, but we still import it. We grow our own lentils, but we still import it. So we have our own domestic market as well as have a demand for international product lines. So moving forward, importance of cannabinoid extraction, which is my main topic of how techno-commercials will play the pivot role. Everybody is in this arena is knowing about how important the extractions is. Over the time period, everybody is finding out new solutions to extract cannabis, how they can get the most efficient way to extract cannabis. We did our own way, which might not be the new, but it is working efficiently, and how, which I will like to explain it to you guys. So our plants which we designed are all CGMP plants. These plants are capable of doing the whole process, and the whole system is CGMP. We can construct USFDA, also GMP plants. And these are zero bacteria walls, everything which is the regulation requires for CGMP, we make these plants. This is an organogram of how to take it to the final level. So if you see, this side is an extractor, which we take it further to the whip film evaporator systems, and then the solvent recovery and ANFD systems. But what is the best part about this system is, we can do solvent or we can do water. Now, when we do with water, there is a lot of regulations. We take a Denmark of Europe, like a lot of regulations don't allow solvent, and if it's a solvent-free extractions, a lot of products comes under the food category. So these systems can be optimized as per the demand of any customers we will get. And these systems can be stopped wherever we want to. It can be full PLC, fully automated plants, where the whole system, you just put the plant material and the final product comes out. We also included nanotizing hydrodynamic systems, where we can convert the isolates into nanoparticles, which can be water soluble. You might see a smaller one. I just saw one ultrasound system over there, but we can make 65 liters big scale ultrasound system, which can give an output of around 25 liters of output. It depends on what we do. So this is just an organ. It's not clear right now. I don't know why, but yeah, so this is like how we put the plant material and how it goes to the process of thin film evaporators and goes on. So what is the unique point? This is very common. Other people are also doing it. So when I just go back, just this part, thin film evaporators, usually 1 liter cost around 2-stage 4 million euros. The whole plant costs around 6 million euros. And the capacity of this plant is 3 tons. It can process 3 tons a day. We can optimize it, lower, higher, the way you want it. You can make it, optimize it like you want to just an oil, you want a 90% oil or an 80 or 60, or you want to take it all the way to the more purer forms. This is the basic diagram. If somebody wants to take a click, you can do that. Solvent recovery is 99% accuracy. Also, the extraction of the crude oil is 90% accurate. And it becomes a very important part, because when you tend to lose your raw material and the solvents in the extraction processes, it tends to increase the cost of the final product lines. So we optimized it to a level that we get the maximum output of what we put in and what we get out of these systems. I know this is more of a medicinal cannabis people are there, but we do work on the complete plant. So yeah, we do make hemp seed plants, which are very important. But these kind of plants are also important if you want to store your genetics, or you want to keep your new seeds which you want to grow further in a right temperature, right moisture, because you will need that. Otherwise, this germination rate decreases down. And if your climate is humid or too hot, your seeds will not give you 90% or 80% also. It will keep going down. So you have to store them in a right temperature, right moisture. So how we do that is we have the whole system till the silos. We store it. Before putting to the silos, we do various steps. This is clear. So we have screens according to the 3 mm to 4 mm sizes. First, the dust and the foreign materials are taken out. You put your material here. This is all PLC. So it will take, once the dust and the other parts are clear, then it takes to the second stage of filtering the seeds to more final version as you want. And then till the end, to the gravity table, where if you want to match the color and the size and exactly what kind of seed you want to store in the main silos. Then in the silos, you can maintain the temperature with the vacuum according to the temperature you need to maintain. Is mostly 5 to 8%. And then you can store it for a longer period. So whether you want to use it for food or you want to reuse it for cultivation, a system is good for that. Like it will save the seed for at least 2 years. Now, third very important part comes fiber. Plant will definitely have fiber. It will, and there is various applications to fiber around the world. Fiber is actually on the top market of hemp and cannabis around the world. 70% of the hemp fiber market is dominated by China. It's a $1 trillion industry, higher than CBD industry, in fact, and it has been there since way, way long. So our farmers used to make ropes out of hemp fiber, and a lot of other countries also, ancient people were making some or the other kind of products with fibers. So, but working with a natural fiber, it becomes very hard to take out the fiber, remove the lignin, and make a finer product, which is very hard. You must have not seen like a very good hemp fiber product lines, but if it is coming from China, they must be very soft as cotton. So what is in that? It's a retting process. Retting is a fresh plant material, and between rotting, we say retting. So there is retting. If we do an efficient retting method, you get a better quality fiber. Now, to achieve retting, there are so many ways you do it. Mostly are non-harmful for natural things like river, or you do it field retting, dew retting, but it spoils your ground. And other people use various other chemicals to do that, which is also very harmful. So in India, we are not allowed to pollute our rivers or the lands. So we have developed one more technology, which is called anaerobic retting. Now, anaerobic retting is the opposite of aerobic retting, which is no air, giving the environment to develop microbes, microorganisms, to eat the lignin of the fiber to make it more naturally processed. So if you see, this is hemp fiber, which was decorticated in this anaerobic reactor. And if you closely see, the fiber is coming out to be very soft, unlike thin fiber. So these reactors are capable of using, you can straightway dip in the stems or decorticated fiber, both. So with the stem, we used with the stem, and this one was without the stem. So how it works, there are two processes to it. This is the system. How we use this is this takes 5 to 7 days to process a fiber. Once we decorticate the fiber, we dip it in the one vessel. What happens then? It circulates the water at a very slow speed, where there is no air or sunlight. And with the slow speed at 30 degrees temperature, it creates an environment to grow bacteria. So these bacteria's food is the lignin, which is the problem to decortication, doing the retting, and we do it in the water or fields. So they eat the lignins and create methane. So we collect these methane gas, if you see this tower, and we can use it as fuel or anything. Methane is fuel, so we use that. So 5 to 7 days process, we come to an anaerobic retted fiber like this, like a very clean, retted, proper fiber. There is one more benefit about anaerobic retting is if you put 100%, usually in traditional retting, you tend to lose a lot of up to 70% of the product. But with anaerobic retting, we get at least 70 to 80% product. You don't lose the product in the end. This is the market, little bit insight of what is the industry in India. And what we look at is we are importing around, we have roughly 2 billion, 2.3 billion of medicinal and pharmaceutical products. Indian textile imports is valued around 7 billion US dollars. And with the growing cultivation of hemp products, we are seeing the same thing coming for hemp also. So the people who are looking forward for the market, definitely India will be a promising market. And our association, if you want to contact us, you can definitely contact us, and we will help you how to set up or to work in Indian market, whether it is hemp seeds or medicine or fibers. Yeah, that's it. Gracias.